Can anyone or can everyone see my screen? Hello, hello, hello.
Yes,
Yes po.
kita na po.
So let's start. So, good evening, everyone. So again, this is just an idea we had. I think later this week we're in as part of the TFR. I just noticed that we didn't have any uh, activities yet. So instead of waiting for them to have something for us, why not present uh, something that we can share all together? So anyway, I know we covered in the units about some of the basic trading strategies. So one is the trend following, and the second one is the swing. So those are, I think, trading concept. So that everyone can use and expand into their own um, trading strategy. So for this discussion, I'd like to this one to be as interactive as possible. You can um, uh, intervene or can ask any question while I'm talking. So, uh, and if you want something to be clarified. So again, I'm a teacher around so many years ago. So I've never done this for a couple of years. So pasensya nyo na. Okay. So from that concept, I pulled one of my swing strategy. So I do have different, but um, since we are going to cover swing, I actually have two. So one of the swing strategy is I pulled from my own and then rename it as A1 for Athena as our accountability group, and then basically all of the rule sets, the parameters, the entry signal, the trigger, stop loss um, indicators that I use on my actual swing trading setup is the same as this Athena or A1 setup that we are going to discuss. So basically, that's our introduction. Again, um, anyone can ask me a question, and I invited my office mate, um, um, Annalyn. So yeah. So next for part two is swing trading. Um, we know that swing trading is basically, let me see if I have it here. So from the Investopedia, it's a style or trading uh, strategy that attempts to capture short to medium-term gains in a stock or any financial instrument. So actually, this swing setup, I can use I use it in my FX and stocks instruments. So swing traders primarily use technical analysis to look for trading opportunities. So basically, as part as well in the TFR, most of us are technical analysts. So we use technical as the majority part of our trading. Okay, so there is a actually a two uh, concerns or part of in a swing. So we call it swing high and a swing low. Okay, so we'll discuss later once we get back to this setup how to draw or how to determine a swing high and how to determine a swing low as well. Okay, so for now, for this discussion, we are going to use eToro as our official broker. Again, this doesn't mean that you cannot trade this set up in the Philippine stock market or any instrument or any broker that you are familiar with or you are trying to use. Okay, so we are going to discuss a what is the ideal or realistic initial capital for uh, for trading. So again, this is a personal issue or an item in trading, but maybe we can have at least a ballpark on why we have that amount personally. Okay, so I'm going to give some parameters on why I chose that amount versus this amount. Okay, so next is we are going to discuss or this setup or in every setup we do have exposure. So we usually uh, here it should be 1% per trade or 1 to 2% per trade. Okay, so for this uh, strategy we are going to use 1% per trade. So 1% of our available balance in each trade. So we are also going to have the maximum open trade. So what does this mean? So for example, we have this X amount and then we are going to expose 1% on each trade. What is the maximum open trades that we need? So in order, and why are we going to do that? So what are the factors why we are limiting or we are having a max open trade? Do you have any question, guys? Yeah, maliw. Tubig. So far, so far so good. And Ju, okay pa?
Yes po, okay pa naman.
Okay.
Yep, okay pa.
Uh, okay, thank you. So we do have as well uh, the stocks to trade. Uh, if you are already uh, into local stock, you can add it as well here. Uh, but most of the discussion or what we are going to have is the US stocks, especially in the S&P 500. And then from the 11 sectors of the S&P 500, we are going to use the consumer discretionary, the energy, the finance, health, and technology sectors. So why I chose this, I think this gives me in the past the volatility, the volume, the liquidity that I need. Okay, but I think in the many years of S&P 500, you can always choose or you can use your own or you can select your own sector in there. Trade direction. So the trade direction for this discussion is always long or the buy. The A1 setup that we are going to discuss is for long, but you can also use that for short. So you only need to change or reverse all the conditions, the the um, entry signals, the entry triggers to have a short trade direction. Okay, and then we have the tools. So basically, we have the charting. Again, we have the trading view as our official charting tool, and then I am going to discuss its indicators in this charting tool. Okay, so let me see here.
Hi, Ronnie.
Yes, go ahead.
sorry. Um, nagko-connect yung si ate ko.
Ah, okay.
Oo,
Perfect.
nag-aantay pala siya.
Okay, so I am in my trading view account. Again, this is free. What I love about trading view is I can use this to execute directly my trade because I moved my funds from Rwanda. I mean from eToro to here, and then we'll try to go back to stocks because of TFR's what you call this one, uh, competition, right? So the what's the name of that contest again? Trial by ice. Okay. So in here on the did anyone had their trading view account?
I do.
Okay.
Yes po, nag-open.
So yeah, that's good. That's good. So in here you can create your what's list. Um, I have here the consumer for stocks, the energy, the finance, health, technology. So the other list here is what I basically do is actually once, for example, I have the consumer, I'm scanning consumer stocks. So once I found a setup that is, let's say, good for my signals and I'm waiting for the entry trigger, I move that stock into my staging. And once I entered that staging and I execute that stock, I mean I already bought or sold depending on the trade direction that I have. I move that into RAFX. So meaning I will be monitoring that. So RAFX is just a name for me to uh, say that these are my holdings for as let's say a um, list for forex and stocks that are currently open. Okay. So here's the staging. Here is on this part we have the name of the security. This is FX mostly. Let me have para doon tayo sa stock mismo. So let's say meron yata ako sa staging. So CHTR is an energy, one of the energy stocks. Okay, and then you have here the time frames. So 1 minute, 15, 1 hour for HD, and let's include the 1 week because it's part of the setup that we are going to discuss. Um, because I can sometimes I do for my day trading opportunities. I use 15 minutes as my uh, time frame to look for setups, and then for my swing trades, which will usually last for days and into weeks, I use the daily time frame for looking setups, and then for it to get or to have a maximum advantage for the risk reward. And then the week time frame is basically to confirm the trend, because as we always say, the trend is your friend. So we usually most, I mean 80% of my trade is in trade. So meaning I write uh, um, the trade, and then I take mga 30%, I do have to set up for uh, uh, counter trend, counter trend. Okay. Any question so far?
Surely. Question po.
Question, sige.
Sir Rolly, question po. Kapag nag-enter, di ba po yung time frame na yun for checking ninyo,
Aha.
yung sa swing trading po ninyo. Kapag nag-enter na po kayo ng trade, ano pong ah, time frame yung ginagamit nyo?
Ang ine-execute ko.
Opo,
So
pag
usually
executing.
I look into 4 hour. So let's say uh, this example. Okay. So we are in the 1D time frame, right? So
Yes.
anyway, this is a one swing. So we know that uh, for us to have a the basic of swing is you have the this swing high, this swing low, and then basically the resistance becomes the support, right? And then
Yes
from
po.
there we can look for trading opportunity. In this case, a buying opportunity because this is an uptrend. Okay, so anyway, we will get back to this. And then when something in here that I found, or I found the entry signal. Okay, so we have different entry signal that we will discuss later. I go into a lower time frame. So in this case, the 4/8. So for example, in this case, so this is one entry signal. So this is consolidation, right? So instead of using this one, my 1 day, because in this case, if I am going to use this, my my initial stop loss will come in here because this is the swing, right? This is the previous swing low. So that's
Yes.
very far if I'm going to enter here. So in order to avoid that and to maximize your risk reward ratio, you can, or I can usually go to 4 hour time frame and look for another level or area of value in here. So in this case, I found this as the area of value here. And then from that area of value, because in looking for, or in setting up your loss, your stop loss, you don't want your stop loss to be exact on that area, right? Because it can be hit. So the strategy, most of the trading uh, books or videos that I learned is you don't put your stop loss there. You have to have a room for to breathe, because sometimes the price will just hit on that stop loss area and swing back up, and you cannot ride it because your stop loss is already hit, right? So that's your stop loss, and then you have it here. So again, to answer Juice's question, so I I set my, or I look for an area of value into the 4 hour time frame. Is that does that answer
Thank you
your
po.
question, Ju?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have the time frames now. I use EMA, so exponential moving average, as my uh, moving average indicator. If you'll notice, for some setup, I have uh, different EMAs. Okay, so the white is for 800, green is for 200, red is 50, yellow is 21, and blue is for 8. So we are not going to cover those uh, in this discussion, but those are just moving average to depending on the time frame that you're looking or you're trading. Okay. Sometimes, or most of the times, they are also used to confirm the trend. So since we are going to discuss a swing on a medium, short to medium term trade, so we're going to use 21 as our exponential or our moving average. You can use how to find that EMA. You can use your indicator here, and I think they just have EMA, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I didn't know this. So is it okay, guys, if meron palang limit ang Zoom for free accounts? So can we just rejoin on a meeting to continue this?
Okay, sir.
Okay
Okay.
lang po.
Sige. Pag naputol tayo, I'll just restart the meeting, okay? And then I'll wait for all of you guys to rejoin. So again, these are the indicators that we have. Um, you can have your own EMA. So if you notice, I have my own favorites here. So I just name it RAFX for naming convention, and I can send you the script for this, but you can always use for EMA. There are available EMAs that you can use as well. So this one EMA from the public library. So there is 4656 users that use that. Okay. But if you want my script, I can send this script, the EMA, uh, the TDI, and the ADR. I mean the ATR later. Okay. So that's the yellow is again our exponential moving average, and then here this is the TDI indicator. So it's called the Traders Dynamic Index. Okay, so let me get back to uh, my Codigo. Okay, the TDI is the Traders Dynamic Index. Okay, it allows to see the bigger picture of the market sentiment, the momentum, the trend, and the volatility. So the green line, okay, so the green, that is for RSI, or the uh, relative strength index. It is used for momentum. It is as well being used to identify overbought and oversold. Okay. Uh, the yellow line is the market sentiment. So the market, this yellow line here, that is the indicator for the market sentiments. So the market sentiment is telling you the uh, directional bias of the of that security that you are looking. So sometimes it is also called the L50 or the liquid 50, because it basically plays around on this, on the center line, the horizontal line, the white, that is the 50. Okay, basically if that yellow is going that uh, on that direction, that's why it's called the L50 for the directional bias. The next is the red. The red line is for trend confirmation. Some use it for buy and sell signals. So I've seen in some forum that they use this when a signal, let's say, when that red line cross the green, they sell, and then if it cross again, they buy, or vice versa. So basically, it's the uh, uh, trend line indicator. Okay. So the blue one, so I did not include the blue one here because I rarely use that. The blue one is for volatility actually. So we know that volatility is the range of spike of the price. It can be how volatile the market on a daily, on an hourly, on a monthly, or on a weekly basis. It depends on the time frame that you are trading. So I uh, I removed that indicator on the TDI because it gives me some noise, because after few years or few uh, years of using the TDI, I rarely use the um, volatility in TDI as my volatility indicator. Instead of doing that before, I use the ATR, which is, I think, our last indicator, the average true range. This average true range is as well use or measure the volatility of the market. Let me see if I can add it here. Average true range. This one, so I am much comfortable using this because at a glance I know that at the current price the volatility of the market is 11.51. So meaning the lower the volatility, so meaning mas tahimik pa ang market. Sometimes some traders use that to uh, parang nagpopondo sila, nag-iipon sila ng maraming stocks dyan because ATR or volatility can from high volatility to go down and then go back again. So some traders use that this ATR volatility, let's say in here. So some of the traders nag-iipon na sila dito ng ng shares. Para pagdating dito, they know that nag-pump na yung volatility, then they can sell somewhere here. And they repeat it again over here. Okay, so that's one of the use of ATR. Another use of this one is what we are going to use for ATR is we can use this as our what we can say uh, stop loss helper. So meaning, let's say this is the support, the red one. Okay, since we do not want to uh, use that as the exact value of our stop loss, okay, we are going to say on that area, which is the candle. Let me see. This is the candle for the support, right? That green hammer there, that one. So we are going to get the lowest value of that candle, in this case 547.78, right? And then we use the value of ATR. So let's say the value is 11.51. So 547.78 minus 1 ATR, which is 11.51, that will be our stop loss. Okay, so for example, the value of that in here is, let's say, 546.25. So that is our actual stop loss when we are going to set our order. So basically that's it. That's the use of our ATR indicator in this strategy. Any questions so far? So we've covered the EMA, what's the use of that, and then the TDI, and then the ATR, which is the volatility. Also, for in addition to the um, TDI, if you notice, meron siyang line sa gitna, di ba? So the lower part, we call this sell zone, and then the above is what we call the buy zone. Okay, so later malalaman natin kung saan ginagamit, bakit natin titingnan ang TDI kung nasa sell zone ba siya or nasa buy zone ba siya. Okay? Are still good, guys?
Yes.
I hope this gives you value in your trading. So the last one is a very simple trend line tool. So this is the trend, the white line here. This one, and this one here is just for us to see the swing. Okay, from swing low to swing high, back to swing low, and then to the swing high. So basically, that's the setup we are going to use. That's the indicator that we are going to use. Very, sabi nga nila, mas simple, mas clean yung setup mo, mas maganda kasi ilan lang yung tinitingnan mo. Do not overcomplicate your signal, your screen. Sometimes nag-aaway yung mga signal mo kaya it gives you a wrong signal. So dapat yung mga signal mo is they are helping each other. Okay? Hindi sila yung nagbabangayan yung sinasabi ng isang indicator mo is ito, tapos yung sinasabi ng isang indicator mo is this one. So I think that's some of the earliest mistakes that I had. So because sabi nila ito yung magandang indicator, so you put that indicator on your screen and then you do not know kung para saan yung mga indicators na yon. In the long run, when you have experience in trading, you will have to laugh at yourself. Bakit mo ginagawa yan? But that's part of it. So doon ka matututo, okay? So what we can do here is we learn fast. We tatayo tayo ng mas mabilis, mamamagpag tayo sa mga maliit natin, and then we move forward. Okay? So ano ba ang sunod? So time frames, nag-discuss ako kanina kung ano yon, and then the rule sets. So since okay na tayo sa mga indicators, let's move to the risk management first. Let's understand the risk management first. So as I said, in this Excel tab, I am going to cover the risk management and also what would be the initial trading amount that you would like to put into. To be honest, when I am starting way back in 2012 when I first opened my COL account, well, 2008 when I was exposed in trading, and then read and then nag-iipon. When 2012 I opened it and put into account, and then buy and hold, and sometimes I realized then that just like if you remember nung nag-meeting tayo with TFR, nasabi niya, ang tagal-tagal na nito, bakit pula pa rin, di ba? So, depende kasi, hindi natin alam na, it depends on during that time siguro, hindi ko pa talaga alam kung ano yung gusto ko sa trading, ano yung gusto kong mangyari sa trading career. Okay? As time moves on, you study, you will encounter some knowledge, or you will gain some knowledge na magsasabi sa iyo na, eto pala yung direction na gusto kong daanan. Eto pala yung mga indicator na fit para sa akin. We can discuss here swing trading, but maybe when you realize in your own creation of your watch list, you're looking to setups, maybe you will say, I am not a swing trader. Maybe I am a trend follower, okay? O hindi ako pwede sa day one day sa day na time frame. Mas gusto ko yung 15, okay? So syempre iba-iba. Again, it's very personal to you. So dapat maghahanap ka ng setup or ng strategy na mag-fit mismo sa personality mo as a person. Okay? So again, I'm very honored to have you guys as to be here, because I always say na, maybe Anne can remember this, that I believe on lady trader, because they are more mas makilatis kayo, di ba? Mas makilatis, and then mas hindi nyo pinapairal yung ego, which is that's most men traders yung mistakes namin is laging ego, lalo na pag nag-uumpisa pa lang. To be honest, my ego when I started trading was very high. Because siguro sinasabi mo na I studied this in college. I was this in that. I won so many this, but when you realize in the market doesn't care kung sino ka, kung saan ka nanggaling, and that point in time will be your eye opener na sa trading hindi ganon, or sa market itself hindi ganon. And then I realized during the seminars, readings, the traders that I followed, most of them sinasabi is mas makilatis yung mga babae versus sa aming men. So yeah. Okay, so in here, so why 5,000? So again, since we are focusing on the US stocks, okay, we can always start with, let's say, 1,000, but we know that I know by myself na sa eToro, I think the minimum nila is for stock alone is 50 yata. So meaning when you have a small capital, ang nangyayari is you have a very thin, mas manipis yung palagi mong stop loss. And most of the time, pag manipis yung stop loss mo, kasi hindi siya magpo-fall doon sa risk sa 1% mo, lagi siyang natatamaan. And in return, sinasabi mo, oh, bakit ganun? Lagi tinatamaan. Tama naman yung ginagawa ko. So because of your risk management na 1%, it will give you a small room to breathe for your stop loss. Okay? And we know na hindi lang yun ang isang consideration. We also know that meron pang slippage dyan, meron pang kung ano-anong taxes or fee, which is, that's okay, that's fine, because that's part of doing business, right? And then I realized na no, I didn't realize that. I watched some of the trading traders na pinafollow ko, is yun yung mga sinabi nila, which hit me hard kasi yun yung mga pagkakamali ko dati. So what I did after blowing my account, I think I blowed my account 3 times. So I think I've mentioned that during our introduction in TFR. And then I realized na dapat siguro I invest first again in my knowledge. So what I did is I set my target, let's say that amount, let's say that this amount I would like, this maybe will give me enough to trade. And then while doing that, I sharpened or I developed trading strategies on demo accounts. So I there was a time na I moved out from the trading communities because it gives me a lot of noise. So I want to focus on myself. So I want to study myself and then improve myself on trading. So habang nag-iipon ako nung sinet ko na amount, I continue trading on my demo account. And then what I did is I usually save up while studying, but I still active, still get the schedules that I want. So I still follow, I set my trading schedule, I followed it, and then I mentally put that this is the amount. So let's say, for example, in here we have 5,000. So because we know that eToro now, they're trading, their virtual account is what? 100,000. So for me, I'm not sure sa inyo, for me, $100,000 is very unrealistic for me as a trader. Okay? I know we can achieve that, but to start with, hindi yun parang realistic sa sitwasyon ko. So I set my mind na eto lang yung value or yung amount na ita-trade ko. Okay? So using that amount, doon ko sineset na 1% lang every trade, and then 5 open positions, maximum of open trades lang. So okay pa ba, guys? Again, you can laging pwede nyo akong istorbohin, okay? Okay pa, okay pa?
Okay pa, Bible.
Okay. So, for this example, I think, let me see. Okay, so on the first trade, 1% of 5 is what? 50, right? I know you can, not sure how you do it in uh, Google time, this in here, but in Excel you can just set your formula, right? And then from that, yung initial mo is bawasan mo siya ng 1%, which is 50 for 90. So yung susunod na trade mo, hindi mo siya ibabase sa 1,000, sa 5,000. Kasi you know that $50 can be lost, right? So again, you know na pwede siyang mawala. That's why you set it as 1%. So you need to accept that $50 can can be lost, or the trade for that $50 can go against you, right? So ang gagawin mo, hindi ka na magbe-base sa sa 5,000 for your next trade, di ba? Babawasan mo yun ng 50, which is 49, and then dito mo nakukunin yung 1% mo pag nakakita ka ng setup mo, which is again, that would be 49.50. So pag nakakita ka uli, i-minus mo uli yung 49.50 mo for 9, which is dito na sa third setup na nakita mo, and yung risk, yung i-risk mo is 1% of that, which is 49.01. So I hope I did my calculation correct in doing this in Excel. And so on and so forth. So meaning, habang meron ka pang, let's say, nakakita ka ng 5 open trades, which is you set 5 open trades lang. So hindi ka muna mag-o-open ng another one. Okay? So let's say nanalo to. Okay? You closed it, you earned an amount or percent on that trade. So 4 na lang yung open trades mo. So meaning, pwede ka na ulit magbukas ng another trade. Okay? Or there are times na pwedeng yung tatlo diyan sabay-sabay silang matatalo, di ba? So again, you open it, you open your next good trade. So applying your setups, your signals religiously. Okay? So yun lang yung point netong part na to dito sa equity, sa trade, 1% and then the amount. So the green here, sometimes I do this in my actual trading file. I just put something na laging nagpapaalala sa akin. For example, this business needs money to make money. That's why nung nag-iipon pa ako, kahit na gustong-gusto ko nang pumasok sa trade kasi yung temptation is very high, I still avoid it because pag pumasok ako doon, I know that I can lose it, and then yung amount na tinatarget ko is mababawasan ulit. But that is just for me. Again, for you starters, if you are going to start, you can try exposing your own amount, right? Because sabi nga nila, when you are on a demo, hindi mo daw mapi-feel yung talagang emotion because it is not real money. Correct. I've been there as well. So meaning nung nag-demo ako previously, nung hindi pa ako pa nare-realize na nag-expose na ako ng ganitong kalaking ng ganitong amount, pero hindi ko ma-feel. And then when I realized nung na-hit ako ng losses, when I get back to it and I set my mind na ito yung gusto kong amount na i-trade, kapag hindi ko pa naabot yan, hindi ako magla-live trade, okay? So again, that was just my journey back then. You can always try yourself, but I hope and I wish na you do not risk everything. If you see the setup that you think you are very confident that you would like to get in. So it's okay to feel the real emotion, but as on my experience, I hope that when you put the trade, you still want to have a percentage of that capital. Okay? And then ganun lang. Let your winners run, cut your losses short. Mga patience in here is really a virtue. Followed my trading schedule, just keep trading and avoid trading stress. Trading stress is not worth it, okay? So to be honest, I was in a very stressful trading days before, and I realized now that it's not worth it. Okay, so here in the yellow, I think this one here, we call this the vision board. So kung ano yung mga gusto mo, okay? So these are just example. Para pag tinitingnan ko nga dapat 1% lang, I always look into this text. Okay? And then sometimes when you are into trading, meron kang losing streak. So paano mo i-define na sunod-sunod na yung losses mo? It can be 2% of your trading account, 3%, 6 na sunod-sunod na number of trades. Okay? And sometimes hindi mo nalalaman na bakit yun nangyayari. Sinusunod mo naman. Sometimes you think that you are following your plan, but when you check your journal, this is why journaling is very important, you will realize that you were not following your trade. Maybe you are just very excited. Maybe you are just or revenge trading during that time. And that will be your journal will help you identify those trades, okay, or those trading mistakes. And ang kabaliktaran nun is losing streak is, of course, meron ding mga time na sunod-sunod naman yung winning mo. How do you define it? So my personal winning streak is 2%, 3%, isang buong week na puro panalo yung trade, or isang buong month na puro siya panalo. So ano naman yung nagiging effect noon sa akin? Okay, so again, you usually hear these ideas, but these are very true. Okay, nakakaroon ka ng Superman syndrome Batman or Darna syndrome na parang feel mo ang galing-galing mo na, hindi ka na pwedeng matalo. Okay? But actually no. What will happen is you violate your 1%, you violate your plan, and that will lead to uh, a very bad result. Okay? So ano naman yung usually pwede mong gawin? So ako sometimes when I hit 2% na sunod-sunod or 3%, I call it a day, I call it a week. So I enjoy time with whatever available time I can use to. Okay? Or I can just close the chart and take a walk. Ganun lang. Para makapagmuni-muni ka doon sa trades mo. Okay? So we have 1 hour left. So I hope you're still here. Okay pa ba? Okay pa ba, guys?
Yes po.
Yep. Very helpful, Veron.
Nice. Thank you. So next is we are going to the actual rules about the A1 swing setup that we have. So this is the rule sets or the plan that you're going to use, the identifiers or the parameters that you check before you enter a trade. So again, you can hear any terms, but usually these are just the prerequisite or kung yung gusto mong makita before mo pindutin yung buy or sell na button. So kanina sabi natin swing trading at saka yung ano yung swing high and swing low. So ako, how I identify swing high, let's get back to the chart. Pag sinabi mong swing high, ito yung merong high, let's random pick high area here. So let's say this candle, ano ba to? Palakihin. Okay? So let's say this high. So I can say that this is a swing high kapag meron siyang previous na dalawang mas mababa kaysa sa kanya. Okay? So kung mapapansin mo, etong dalawang to is hindi siya lumampas dito sa let's put something in here. Hindi siya lumampas dyan sa tick na yan. Etong dalawang green na to. Okay? And then on the right side, etong dalawang candle naman is hindi rin siya lumampas doon sa pinaka gitna. So that for me is a swing high. Okay? So the color doesn't matter. Okay? And the wick doesn't matter as well. Merong times na etong first here, yung wick niya is mas mataas kesa dito, but it can still a valid swing high because yung wick niya is hindi mas mataas dito sa line na to. Ganon din sa kabila. Etong isa na to is pwedeng mas mataas siya doon sa first, but hindi siya mas mataas dito sa red line. Okay? Yun yung how I say that eto yung swing high niya. Okay? So sa swing low naman, babaliktarin mo lang. Let's find some swing low here. This can be a swing low, right? Kasi etong dalawa is hindi siya lumampas dito, at then etong dalawa naman na to is hindi rin siya lumampas dito sa candle na to. Okay? So this is my swing high, and then that would be my swing low in this regard. So ganun lang siya ka-simple. And then you will encounter major swing high and major swing low. So paano mo ma-identify yon? So let's have this as our actual example. So for me, the major swing is this one and this one. In between all noise, right? That is a major swing. So pwede kasing minsan in between that meron siyang swing high. So let's see. We don't have it here, but kapag nag-check ka ng mga chart, sometimes in between this swing, meron siyang mga maliliit na swing. Those are minor swings, okay? Any questions sa swing high and swing low so far? Good, good. So let's take back. So ano yung first na rule set natin? So we have conditions. So sabi ko dyan, dapat lahat ng condition ay true. So meaning, dapat lahat ito, ang answer mo dyan ay yes. Hindi ka pwedeng magsabi dyan na kapag isa dyan is no, meaning you move to the next security or the next stock that you're looking. Kasi hindi na siya valid. Hindi na siya valid doon sa setup mo. Okay? So, is the current price above 21 EMA? So, anong ibig sabihin nun? So, let's get back in our example. So, ang current price ba, which is here, above ba siya sa 21 EMA? Okay? So, in this case, the answer is yes. Right? Kasi above siya sa EMA natin. Next condition, are the previous prices respects 21 EMA? Okay? Previous price. So kung mapapansin mo, mostly sa kanila is nire-respect yung 21 EMA. Right? Lumampas siya, but you will notice na hindi siya ganon kalaki yung baba niya sa trend. Okay, and that actually helps on the formation of your trend or on your swing. So in this case, this is a valid yes because the previous price respects the 21 exponential moving average. So that's it for the second condition. The next condition is 4/8, 1D, and 1 week in the buy zone. Okay, this is a very tricky part because sometimes nagiging subjective kasi gusto mong sundin yung bias na nakikita mo. But the indicators tells you everything. So wag mong pairalin yung sinasabi ng I think we can call that second voice on your head. So dapat objective ka kung ano yung nakikita mo talaga sa chart. So paano 'yon? So kung ang 4/8 ang D1 or ang week ba daw na time frame ay nasa buy zone in terms of TDI indicator. So we know this area pag nasa taas ng 50 is the buy zone. Pag nasa baba naman, yun yung sell zone. Okay? So, D1 is yes. Week 1 or week time frame is definitely yes. Nasa buy zone. 4/8 is hopefully okay, di ba? Nasa buy zone siya. Okay. So, nasa buy zone. So, meaning yung condition natin, yes, and it confirms that this stock is in an uptrend. So meaning, tama siya doon sa direction na hinahanap natin. We are finding a buying opportunity here. So that's why we have to confirm these conditions. So next, pag na-confirm mo yun, again, this here can go for as long as 2 days to confirm your trade. Okay, so a trading is a test of patience. Okay, so dapat maging pasensyoso, mapaghintay, kumbaga. So the next part is we are looking for the entry signals. Any can be true. So bull flag, okay, bull flag ba 21 EMA consolidation ba? Nag-breakout ba doon sa 21 EMA consolidation? Resistance consolidation ba? O resistance breakout and retest ba? Okay. Bull flag meaning okay, eto, meron tayong perfect example. Bull flag is one swing high, this one here, and then meron siyang down na trend, at pag nilagyan mo siya ng isang ganito, makakakita ka ng parang flag. So that's why it's called bull flag. So this one, that part there, that is called a bull flag. Okay? Gets? Nakuha nyo guys? So ang kabaliktaran naman yan is bear flag. So hopefully you can research what is a bull flag and bear flag on your time. So paano siya naging entry signal? So if you notice sa bull flag niya, merong breakout. So meaning this is a sign na pwede siyang entry trigger na napo-form na yung signal ko. Pag nag-break siya dyan sa line na yan, pwede akong pumasok. Okay, so that's one entry signal that you can have. Okay, another one is 21 EMA consolidation breakout. So what's that? So I hope nandito pa din yung nakita ko, which is this one. You have that swing here, and then you notice na nagko-consolidate siya doon sa 21 EMA. So if you verify, if you go to the lower environment, lower time frame, the consolidation is much clearer, right? So ito yung swing mo, and nagko-consolidate siya doon. And you see, nag-breakout siya dyan. So this is your, naghihintay ka dito ng isang consolidation. In some, so this is some point, some advanced traders, they enter around here and use this one swing here, minor swing, to have a profit. But for this discussion, we will stick to our rule na maghihintay lang tayo ng consolidation hanggang mag-breakout siya. So here you can use this as a break, but it ended up as the false break because nag-close siya as lower. So here nag-break siya, and ang confirmation niya is this one, the green candle here. So meaning this is your 21 EMA consolidation, this is your breakout, and the next candle you can execute your entry. Okay, and we know what happened, but again, this is a cherry pick chart because I want to give you my point, to show you my point na ganito yung 21 EMA consolidation as our entry signal. So next entry signal, again, pwedeng ang entry signals natin is any of this can be true. Pwede kang gumamit ng kahit ano doon na makikita mo. So the resistance consolidation is pwede siyang I hope meron akong nagawang resistance consolidation. I think meron, hopefully meron. Okay, so I have here the okay, so this is the resistance consolidation. Okay, so we know that this is your resistance here. Okay, nag-break siya. So etong part na to, bigyan natin ng green. Okay, gawin natin siyang blue para kunyari siya yung resistance. So yung area na to is yan yung resistance niya, di ba? So pwede siyang mag-consolidate diyan as a box. Naglagay ako ng box. So pwede rin ang resistance or ang consolidation is here. Dito in this area. So pwedeng yan na part or pwedeng dito sa kung hindi pa siya nagbe-break dyan, it can consolidate somewhere here. And that is a very good consolidation signal because ang 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 stop loss mo is from this support, maghahanap ka ng next low and you add your ATR versus nag-enter ka dito, your stop loss will be the previous low which is this one or swing low which is this one, di ba? Medyo malayo yon and it will not give you a very good risk reward ratio. Okay? And then the classic one, by the way, any question on the resistance consolidation na signal or na entry signal? Okay? So next is the resistance breakout and retest. Ito yung I think na get natin sa TFR sa one of the units on swing trading. Let me see if I can reset this. So basically ang break and then pag nag-retest siya dito and that support holds, that is a perfect the first pullback is the best pullback as they say. Okay, so pag na-timingan mo yon, usually it gives you a very good risk reward ratio. Okay, so in this case we have that break and then nag-test siya dyan sa support na yan, and that is a very good entry or signal, and then you can do your entry on the next candle. So again, as I said earlier, usually I go down to next lower time frame and confirm or find some value there to have my risk reward. So ito yung consolidation, nag-pullback siya dyan, which is yung EMA natin, siya na yung naging area of value, siya din yung pinaka pullback niya. And that gives us a very good signal, and the next candle will be your entry. Okay? So yun yung apat na entry signals na pwede mong hintayin. Okay? So the entry trigger can be the next bullish candle, yung hammer, the bullish price rejection. So pag sinabi mong price rejection is, it can be bullish price rejection. Let me have some example of those. Okay, so this one is a bullish price rejection. Nag-down siya pero nag-close siya as green. Okay? Sa bearish price rejection naman, let me find. Usually mas maganda kasi yung may wick. So this one is a bullish price rejection. Okay. Wala akong makita. So ang bearish is baliktad. Yung nasa high siya pero nag-close siya as close. Wala akong makitang ng bearish price rejection, but basically yun yung concept. Sa bullish, this one is a very good bullish price rejection. Nag-down siya hanggang dito na area but it closed as green. So this is a very good bullish price rejection. Babaliktarin mo yon na nag-high siya as high as possible and then nag-close siya as red. That is a price rejection. Okay? So, pag nakakita ka nun, the next candle will be your entry. You can enter the next candle. So, as I said here, enter on the next candle after the entry signal. Your bullish or your bullish price rejection are the trigger, and you buy or you sell on the next candle. Okay? It can be usually sa stocks. What I love the day time frame is I can check on the weekend or I can check morning while the US market is closed. Visit my watch list for my setup pag meron, and then I pre-order, and then para pag nag-close siya pwede siyang ma-hit. I can set this as open on the open market, or I can click, or I can set a specific price na gusto ko. Okay, but usually most of the time I put it on open. Okay, so we'll have an example of that later. So the stop loss is um, yun yung price na, meaning magi-invalidate siya doon sa trade setup mo. So meaning in here, pag lumampas dito sa red na to yung price, automatic cut loss ako, meaning na invalidate na for me yung setup. Okay, so yun lang yung stop loss concept. But of course, stop loss helps you to cut your losses very very short. Okay, and you just don't want to, again, babalik ko lang yung sinabi ko kanina, you don't want your stop loss on that specific line. You have to have a room for improvement, or a room to breathe the price. Okay, so that's the ATR value comes in. So the support is the support low, kung saan yung, let's say, ang ginamit mo is ang ang support na concept. Let's say this is the support, kukunin mo yung pinaka low ng candle. So in this case, let's say 55238. Okay, kukunin mo yung ATR, 1 ATR lang, meaning pag sinabi mong 1 ATR is the value of ATR times 1. Okay, some traders they use 2 or 3 ATR, depende doon sa kanila. Okay, you can use, so for this discussion we will use 1 ATR. So the support low minus the 1 ATR, that will be your stop loss. Okay, so next is price target. Okay, sometimes we we do unrealistic target, right? Because we hope that when you enter it will go as high as here, but the market doesn't work that way. So the realistic one is swing trading. It can be on the next swing. So meaning next swing on this part is next swing, because it on this case maybe it will hold or it will consolidate on the before my stop loss. The next swing on that is the next swing high, which we discussed earlier. Pag nakakita ako dyan ng isang high na merong dalawang mas mababa na candle, I can lock my profit 50% in there. Okay, so that's my usual target profit. Of course, we love to get as high. Pwede, hindi mo mapipigilan na pwede siyang tumaas pa doon sa swing high na yon, but it can also bounce back down over here. So that's why the concept is usually I do is I reduce my position on the swing high, and then I move my stop loss here on the profit area, and makikita nyo mamaya na ang exit signal natin is kapag nag-close siya sa lower than the 21 EMA, we exit on the next candle. Okay, so I think nandito yun. Okay, so the exit signal, next candle after 21 EMA breakdown. So meaning, or na stop loss, yung stop loss mo is na hit. Okay, so but again, I love to for you to use the locked in profit. So meaning you reduce your position here, you move, or you can move your stop loss high on the profit area, or you just leave it there, and then kapag bumabasa dito, and hanggat hindi pa nababasag yung 21 EMA, you can stay in the trend or in the trade. But if nag-close siya na mas mababa doon sa 21 EMA and you got your profit already, don't be greedy. Okay? The market gave you something to enjoy. Okay? So on the next trade, we usually exit. So that's our trading plan say. During my time, I I usually say, okay, so I'll wait, baka sa susunod na candle, babalik pa siya. Sometimes it does, but basically, I did not follow my trading plan, right? So to follow it, so what I do is, on the next trade, I close it, no matter what happens. So, meaning, that's the red text there, that you do not you do not make any excuses at all. That's your trading plan says, you follow it. Okay? So far so good? Nice.
Yes po.
Question. Kuha muna ako ng tubig, guys. Sandali lang. So don't worry, guys. I'll give you the link for that Excel sheet that we have. Okay, so to put that into to action, we are going to use the eToro uh, um, broker. Okay, so this is my eToro virtual account. Okay, so I have a $10,000 in here, but again, I advise you to set your mind that that will be the your target amount to trade. Okay? So you set your mind na yun lang para you follow it. You feel the emotion a little bit, but if you find something na gusto mo siyang i-trade talaga, I advise that you trade it, but you expose a fraction only of your capital. Okay? So hindi ko sinasabing huwag kayong mag-trade hanggat hindi nyo naaabot yung, let's say, 5,000, 3,000 or whatever amount that you set. But if you find something na gusto mo siya talagang subukan, then you push that buy button and follow the stop loss and watch your trade. Okay? So I think I actually executed that actual example we have. So let me see. I hope all are familiar with eToro because this is the official or the trading or the broker that we are going to use in this scenario. Okay, so that is CHTR, right? So this one. So what I did is I check, I find that account, I mean the swing there, and then nakita ko yung consolidation doon na part. Let me clear that again. So habang hinihintay ko siya, okay, nagbi-visit ako doon sa lower time frame because I want to have a good risk-reward ratio. So luckily, so Miss Market give me a very good signal. I think I entered here and then nag-set ako ng open dito banda. So the next market open or trading session na green. But of course, next week it can gap down here. Pwede siyang mag-gap down or pwede siyang umakyat. But since I already set my 1% as my trading risk, then this is all good for me. I can accept na pwede siyang mawala. Okay? So how do you set that stop loss amount? So of course, what you will do is usually kapag nagpo-fall na siya sa trading, sa entry signals ko, I put it in my watch list here. And then kapag tahimik pa ang market, usually weekend or morning natin, para pag bukas ng market, pag kinagabihan, mahihit na yung order. So what I did is, you buy, and then ano yung stop loss mo na based sa computation mo. Let's say this stop loss 54584, right? So guys, this is very important here. Let's say this one, you compute your loss or stop loss value 54615. You just put it there on this one. So usually we use leverage times 2 as a start. So sa stop loss ko, kung mapapansin mo, lagi siyang amount. Okay? I can say, let's say, pwede tayong maglagay dyan ng 50, kung 50 siya. But I usually don't do that because 50 $50 can be different on your chart. Maybe a $50 can somewhere here, which is a very napakadelikado niya as your stop loss, or $50 can be very down here, which is not as well very good. So ang ginagawa ko is to get my risk reward na, let's say, ano ba yung risk reward ko? Kung nasa kunyari 5,000 pa lang siya, risk reward, risk amount, so let's say 50. So ang gagawin ko doon is I click rate para maging rate din siya dito. There. So what I do is I'll get my risk reward, stop loss amount. So 545.80. So 545. So let's say 545.80. Okay. So kung mapapansin mo, mataas siya, di ba? So meaning, pwede ko siyang i-accept, but if I can reduce the units here above, okay, there, meaning swak na siya doon sa risk amount na sinet ko as 50. Or usually hindi ko ginagawa na yan, 53 or the next plus 50. Okay, so ito is lampas na actually, di ba? 53 is lampas na siya, but I can handle additional $3 for additional units of this trade. Ganun lang. Basta hindi siya masyadong malaki na parang kinonsume mo na ang dalawang trade. But you can do that as well. So let's say nag-cover ka ng stop loss na dalawang amount. So meaning sa maximum mo na 5, dapat ang gagawin mo na lang is 4 because you already set a stop loss of 2 account or 2 trading positions, right? So ganun siya ginagawa. And then eto please double check. You double check that it is a buy. You double check that it is the correct amount for your stop loss. You double check that it is X2 as your leverage and your stop loss. Very important. So that's why we do it as a start during close market, because sometimes we get very excited on during open market and we nakakamali tayo ng press ng mga buttons because we are very excited, and I've been through that. So I would like you to avoid my mistake. So I double check it is a buy button, my leverage, my stop loss, and then my amount here. So when you do that, you just set your order. So in here, it is a market order. So meaning pag nag-open ang market, it can give you the market order. Okay? So you just set, and that's it. So once na nandun na siya, okay, so question guys. Klaro ba? Klaro yung pag-set natin ng order? Okay. Fights. So pag check mo ito, oh mali pala ako. So pwede mo siyang i-close actually. Okay? So I will cancel here because I just made my point on how to put your order with your risk amount. Okay? So once na nag-open ng market and it hits your amount, it will just here. Pupunta siya rito and pwede mo na siyang i-monitor. So what I do is pagkatapos ng duty or pag kinabukasan, usually I set an alarm, let's say every 4 hours, mag-a-alarm siya na I will check my position. So titingnan ko lang yung chart and then okay pa ba? Na-hit ba ang ang stop loss ko? Okay pa pala. Of course, we like to make it na lagi siyang on our side, di ba? Gusto natin makita na nasa side siya, but it does not always happen. So minsan pag nakita mo wala na stop loss na yung na stop loss na or nandun konting-konti na lang mahihit na. So ganon. Okay? So I hope we covered it. The next step is you journal. Okay, so what you will do is pag may nakita ka na, let's say si CHR yung naandun mo, this is just me, okay? So I'll put yes, 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 and then alin ang nag through sa entry signal ko, this one. So I'll just put yes. So sa entry trigger ko is nag-bullish siya. Okay, so I'll just highlight it. And then ng stop loss ko, I just ito yung stop loss na computation sample, but you can definitely make your own. But the use of this is one for your journaling purposes, and pag nag-review mo yung journal mo, dito mo makikita nga, I followed my rules but nagkaganon. Kaya I'm happy because the trade go with me and sinunod ko pa yung trade plan ko, mas okay, di ba? So, ang gagawin mo lang sa journal is you just fill this out, okay? And then pag natapos na yung let's say trade mo, let's say nag-risk tayo ng 50 dyan. Tapos ilalagay mo yung gain mo rito. Automatic kung winner yung trade na yon, this will go green, and kung loss naman, it will go red. So I advise you to religiously journal your trade because this is very helpful. So minsan tinatamad tayo. Pag tinatamad tayo, pwede tayong tumarin sa journal review, but as much as possible, when you enter your trade, you put it here. So in my case, I do this when I don't have the automated tool yet. So I already share it with you. I am journaling my trades in myfxbooks.com. This is a very good journaling tool, but the downside is eToro is not one of their broker, but they have a very good metrics. So hindi ka na magmamanual. All you need to do is execute your trade and review and put some comments. So I hope I can show you the actual comments, but I have my live account already there. So but you can definitely visit that for your logging in case you are interested. But for eToro, you can just you do your journaling manually here. Okay, we're good. So I think we've covered it. We still have a few minutes. So any questions so far? So I'll create a document for the script for EMA for this trading indicators para magamit nyo on your own. So hopefully you learn something, and sana especially for Ju and Risa, which is my trading buddy, what I'd like for us to do is for our accountability, uh, what we can do is, asan ba yung kodigo ko? Next. So sa next is pwede tayong mag trade review during weekend. Okay? Meaning, based on this study, you apply it on your virtual eToro account. Okay? The trading, that what we learned today, and then review natin every week. Okay? We will have a open session. We can also share how to find some stock. Maybe I would assign myself to look into the consumer stock. You would be in uh, in energy. Risa will look into other what uh, sectors, that finance. Okay, so again, I'm not limiting this one. Annalyn can also join in our trade review sessions if she'd like to. Okay, okay guys, I hope you enjoy it. So let's have um, a review next Saturday. Okay lang, on what happened on our
Sige,
trading week.
sir.
Okay lang.
Yes po.
Nice. So you can send me any question. Okay, so I will not promise that I will answer it immediately, but I will try my best to answer it when I see it. Okay, so
Yes.
hopefully okay na tayo. And any question, final call, okay na? Naki-question diha?
And none for now, Sir Loy. I'm good.
Sige. Salamat. So,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you, Sir Rolly.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye sa inyong lahat.